make sure that you are, you have that knowledge so you can invest with confidence. And remember, knowledge is how we overcome fear. Fear is going to encumber you, and it's going to trap you, and it's going to hold you back. Knowledge is going to help you overcome that.
Welcome to the Conscious Investor. Let's get started.
Welcome back, Conscious Investors. I am so excited because I believe summer is officially here in North Idaho. Remember, I live on the Canadian border. For me and the way my body is, it's usually cold here, and I'm so excited. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see I am wearing short sleeves, and I am so excited about it. I have my hair pulled back because I don't have to try to keep my neck all nice and toasty warm. It is exceptional, and it's a glorious time of year. It's so much fun to be able to get outdoors and to not have to be all bundled up or to have extra fleece, but along with us and things like that. So I'm really super excited about summer right now. Our son's buddy is down in New Mexico visiting family, and it's 100 degrees. And my son's like, "Mom, that'd probably be the perfect temperature for you," although the rest of my family would die. And they would not appreciate 100 degrees the way I would. Well, I have some lessons for you, some tips and tricks that we are learning from summer that are going to help support you in making some really great decisions. You see, right now, I am hearing a lot of things out there in the investment community. I'm hearing a lot of people who have really good deals, legitimately good deals, are still struggling to raise money from passive investors. And I think that that's really interesting. And a lot of you are passive investors yourself. And so I thought I'm going to use some of the lessons that we're learning at these beginning moments of summer here in North Idaho to support your passive investing goals. Because right now is not the time to be sitting on the sidelines. Well, let's go ahead and dive into this. These are going to be three evaluation points for you, 3 points for you to actually challenge yourself. Why am I on the sidelines? Why am I hesitant? What should I really be doing? Because a lot of people are going to be missing out right now. And I care about you. I don't want you to miss out on opportunity. The first lesson comes from our very first day at the beach. Our first day at the beach, I think it was last week, our son, so I'm a quarter Mexican. My husband, I think he's probably a quarter Portuguese, and neither of us look like we have any of that ethnicity in us because we are pasty white, right? For all intents and purposes. And our son, from the moment he was born, came out with this just beautiful tan skin. We're like, oh my word, where did you come from? And so it's always been this little hallmark of his that he is usually just has this, nice golden tone to his skin. And this particular winter, he actually started to look a little bit more like us, and he was getting a little of that pastiness going on. So we're hitting the beach for the first day of the season. And obviously, as any wise parent would do, hey, buddy, you should wear some sunscreen. First day at the beach would be really, really wise to wear some sunscreen. And, well, he's a teenager. Oh, I don't need to wear sunscreen. I'm okay. And, there are these points as our kids are growing and maturing where I believe, and my husband and I agree, we're in unison on this, like, there are some times where they just need to be able to make the decisions for themselves and experience the results of their decisions. He may or may not get sunburn, really, for all we know. All that to say, at the end of the day, I was tucking him in, and guess who was like lobster red, roasty toasty? Yes. So our son is sunburnt and he is feeling that, but he wasn't complaining about it. Isn't that interesting? We allowed him to make the choice, and it did not turn out as he desired. He was sunburnt, as mom suggested would happen, but he didn't complain about it. The next time we went to the beach, guess who put sunscreen on? Hey, maybe can you just put a little bit on me just in case? I just don't want to. Because he had experienced something, and that experience gave him knowledge, and that knowledge allowed him to make a super wise choice for himself and his body. Now, truly, this applies to your investing as well. A lot of you have experiences with investing. Most of us have some level of experience with the stock market, and we have some relationship with the stock market where we can say, oh, the stock market's going to go down, it's up, but we really probably don't know, most of us, exactly why all of those things are happening. Most people have their stocks held with a financial planner who has them in whatever product their company offers. Oh, our products offer, these different packages and, the whatever growth packages and such, right? I'm not going to get into it too much. All this to say, we have a certain level of knowledge, and some of us got stung, got our own little sunburn with some of the dips, like the '08 recession, or maybe some of you remember the .com crash, in the early 90s, right? So we have these experiences, our sunburns, and then we become a little conditioned on how we are going to move forward with our decision making. And we start applying sunscreen across the board. Okay. Instead of saying, okay, just mist me a little bit on my upper shoulders. That's what I ended up doing with my son the next time we were at the beach. I just said, yeah, you betcha, we'll put it on. Your whole body's not going to need it, but definitely your shoulders and in the upper part of your back, that's where you're going to feel it the most. And let's just protect that. And so it's important that we take this with what we have experienced in our investing. We can't just take, oh, well, this happened over in stocks, so therefore it's going to happen in real estate. Or, well, real estate got trashed in the Great Recession, and that was actually single family specifically. And that's another part of this, right? So having this knowledge and understanding, it can empower us, but it can also really detour us if we are applying that knowledge in incorrect ways. And so we really have to be looking at what is happening right now. What are the levers that are happening? What is the evidence that is out there that would say we're on track for another crazy recession? And that's going to affect all asset classes, from stocks to crypto to real estate, right? We have to be careful about doing this. Just spray the sunscreen everywhere. We're going to protect ourselves in every way. When we are doing that, we are overprotecting ourselves. If my son put copious amounts of sunscreen on constantly, it's probably not going to it's not going to benefit him in any way. It's not going to hurt him, not going to benefit him either. Okay. It's just kind of a neutral thing. But when it comes to our investing, we are actually setting ourselves up to miss out on all of the amazing opportunities that are before us. You see, a good deal is a good deal is a good deal. Yes, interest rates are going up. Okay, they're still so low, so low. And a deal isn't contingent solely upon an interest rate. So the interest rate is going to do its thing. That's only one lever. What are the terms and conditions of that financing that are being secured? That's critical for us to be evaluating. What is our what is the projected cap rate? There's just so many elements that we need to be aware of. And if a deal makes sense, and if a deal can show that it demonstrate that it is going to be able to perform, that's what we need to be evaluating. We don't want to miss out because we're spraying sunscreen everywhere and trying to get rid of like protect ourselves and shield ourselves from things. We want to make sure that we're evaluating every opportunity so that we're not overprotecting. When we're overprotecting ourselves in this way financially, we are actually missing those opportunities at these moments when most people are starting to like scoot over. They're getting off the field and going to the bench to just like, take a water break. Well, those people are taking water breaks. They're a group of us that are being assertive and really evaluating every opportunity and unearthing them. Passive investors do not want to miss out right now. This is a critical time. This is also a time where it's critical to make sure that you have alignment with teams like Three Keys Investments, where we understand what we're doing, we understand how we're executing it, and we can be confident in how we are going about our business plans and structuring them for our passive investors. This reminds me of my son. I mentioned this recently on a podcast episode where he didn't pack water. I encouraged him. I reminded him, hey, make sure you fill your bike bag with water. So we wear backpacks with the little straw things. It's so convenient. And he didn't. And if you recall, we didn't allow his little sister to share water with him, which was really challenging, but we were only out on the trail for an hour. Every time we did this loop, we were back at the parking lot. Worst case scenario, we could, so nobody's health was being jeopardized at all. But the lesson was learned, right? And his lesson, the next time we went riding this weekend at a couple different locations, and the first day we went out, he was filling his water bag without even being asked. He's like, I'm just going to cap it off. I just want to make sure I have enough water for what we're up for. Right. And so when we find that alignment with teams, we want to find teams that, they're making sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, and we can have that reassurance that they are prepared and we're aligned with them. And if we're all prepared, then we can gain together. Final story here is shoes. Not to harp on my son or anything, because all of these examples are with my son, but he's been going through a series of learning, and it's been really somewhat entertaining because when you offer a teenager guidance and they choose to not take it and they experience the net result of not taking it, we just know how that is. So he chose to conveniently forget his shoes and socks, and we were going mountain biking. And fortunately, we've ridden this trail. I know the trail, very familiar with it. He's not going to die if he's out there in sandals, but he could get hurt. And lo and behold, at the very end of the ride, apparently he had a little branch that clipped his toe, like went under his toenail as he's riding by or something. Guess who's probably always going to remember to wear shoes and socks on the trail? We didn't harp on it. We empathized with him. Wow, that really stinks. Sorry that happened. And we did say, well, maybe you'll wear shoes and socks next time. There's a reason mom and dad say this. And that is about be prepared. So you might have the knowledge, okay, I understand every recession, every economic cycle is its own has its own personality and responds in its own ways. The climate right now is not the same climate that was during the 2008 crash. It's a very different climate. And so we have this level of knowledge. We have alignment with GP teams. You're on. If you're not already on Three Keys Investments investor list, you need to make sure you pop over to the website and that you sign up to be on our investment list so that you can see the investments because you understand the level of vetting that we do. So then you need to make sure that you're prepared. Our son wasn't prepared properly and he got a nice little branch under his toenail. You need to be prepared financially. Is your capital liquid? Is it tied up? Are you still looking to roll your 401k or IRA into a self-directed vehicle, you need to make sure that that is done now, because I am looking into December. I'm talking to brokers. Brokers have been telling me, hey, we see the opportunities coming. So brokers have said that. Some lenders have said, we see some opportunities coming, but you will miss out on those opportunities if you're not prepared, if you're not liquid. Right? So make sure that you are, you have that knowledge so you can invest with confidence. And remember, knowledge is how we overcome fear. Lawrence Laddie and I spoke about that on a recent podcast episode. Fear is going to encumber you, and it's going to trap you, and it's going to hold you back. Knowledge is going to help you overcome that. And then, making sure that you're prepared so that you're not missing out on those opportunities. All right, lessons from the trail. They are real. They transfer over to real life. Now, I'm looking over at my phone because I do have some really fun trail footage and just some lessons that I'm taking directly from the trail. So if you're following me on social media, you can follow my personal account where I put these into stories in different places. And I also share them over on LinkedIn, which is one of my favorite platforms ever. So if we're not connected, I would love to connect up with you and make sure that you take a moment to do that. All right. As always, adventure belongs on the trail, not in your investing, not in your financial investing, not in your personal investing. Okay. If you need support in either of those areas, please remember, 3 Keys Investments is here to help you. We want to educate you and empower you so that you can have that financial literacy and understanding when it comes to investing in apartments. It is, I believe it is one of the best ways for anyone who is not already investing. And if you have no acumen about investing in real estate, okay, I've bought my single family home for my own family. I've never been a landlord. I don't want to be a landlord. Investing in apartments is one of the most stable investments to begin with, hands down. Okay, so you don't want to miss out on that type of opportunity of being a real owner in real estate without any of the hassles that surround it. Great way to step in and get started. If you need support on the personal side, remember, I am a high performance coach. My clients are growing and their lives are heading into the direction that they want to go. And it's exciting. I love empowering people to take those steps. So make sure that you connect up with me on either or both fronts so that I can support you, or 3 Keys Investments collectively can support you. You guys are awesome. Until next time, live big, love bigger.
Overwhelmed by apartment syndication but want to learn more? Let me help you press the easy button. Head over to 3keysinvestments.com and download Syndication Made Simple. I explain simply how the process works, who's involved, and how you can get started today. You're smart, and with this simple guide, you'll be able to understand the process. Head over to 3keysinvestments.com and download Syndication Made Simple.